You're watching GV Kids Inc. News with your anchors Charlie Wiesner and Aaron Casey. Coming up on this edition of GV Kids Inc. News, Greenwood Village celebrates the grand opening of Village Green's North Park. Learn about how the new state law regulating marijuana is impacting the village. Hear how the police department is cracking down on sexting with kids. Plus meet the Greenwood Village Municipal Court judge and read how she is handling the gavel in the courtroom. All this and more coming up right here on GV Kids Inc. News.
Hello, welcome to GV Kids Inc. News. I'm Charlie Wiesner.
And I'm Aaron Casey. Thank you for joining us.
The time has come. In April, the village celebrated the opening of the Village Green's North Park. GV Kids Inc. News reporter Mia Rabin was there to capture all the festivities.
As you can see, what a beautiful day it is to be here at the grand opening of Village Green's North Park. Today is a joyous occasion for many residents who have waited to see what's in store for these 90 acres of open space. And from what we can see, Village Green's North offers an amazing adventure. I'm here with Mayor Ron Rukowski. Why is this an exciting time for Greenwood Village?
It's a great day for Greenwood Village because we've added another amenity in our Parks, Trails, and Recreation Department that all ages can use at all skill levels. So I'm really excited that it gives us another thing that our citizens can enjoy on behalf of the city at no expense.
I'm here with Tom Bishop. How do you think this park will contribute to the quality of life of GV?
Well, I would say that first off, we've got another piece of recreation here, another opportunity for our children and adults. Both the Frisbee golf and the bicycle route will be very fun for everybody. What my wife just said to me is we got to get our grandkids down here for this Frisbee golf. It sounds like a great opportunity for all of us. So I'm looking forward to enjoying some more recreation right here in beautiful Greenwood Village.
Well, it's really a fun day to be here. It's a beautiful day, and knowing how long it took to kind of develop this park and really get good citizen input, and it was such a collaborative effort, and I know that so many people are going to enjoy the mountain biking, the disc golf. It's a great thing, not only for Greenwood Village residents, but for our whole area. So it's really fun to be here.
Imagine yourself on a Colorado mountain biking trek. The joy of knuckling down on a wooded trail, sun on your back, and challenging and beautiful terrain in front of you. The great thing is you don't need to have to go to the mountains. You can come here to Village Green's North Park to tackle this fat tire paradise. I'm here with Eric Enzi. Tell us about the Mountain Bike Skills Trail.
Well, the Mountain Bike Skills Trail is about a 2.75 loop around Village Green's Park. The trail consists of about 100 different obstacles, ranging from switchbacks to log rides to rock gardens. And what you may see behind us here is actually one of the expert Black Diamond runs. So varying levels of difficulty for riders of all ages and all abilities.
If the Mountain Bike Skills Trail is too daring for some of you, you can try the 18-hole disc golf course, designed to be enjoyed by the entire family. Disc golf is like playing regular golf on the green, but at Village Greens, that is. However, you will not need to pay a greens fee. You will not need a golf cart, and you will never get stuck with a bad tee time.
Well, the disc golf course we've got here at Village Greens North is an 18-hole disc golf course. It's a recreational course, not a tournament course. And we have holes here for all varying levels of disc golf players, from beginners to intermediate to even more advanced.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cut! Yay!
Oh, this was a great event today, and so glad that we finally got to this day. This park has been in the making for over 10 years, and so many people have been involved, from residents who came up with ideas for different features to city council and city staff who actually were the ones that developed the park, and then just a whole host of people, and them funding. We had key funding from Arapahoe County as well as City of Greenwood Village. So anyway, we had a great day today, beautiful weather. We got to get out there and ride the mountain bike course, and some of us crashed once or twice just to make sure that we were pushing ourselves to the limits. So there's lots of fun obstacles out there. Everybody should try it, and and then disc golf, people keep coming in for more. So it was a very, very fun event.
Today's grand opening was a great success and shows that Village Greens North Park will make a special contribution to the quality of life in Greenwood Village and be enjoyed by the community for many years to come. Reporting from Greenwood Village Kids Inc. News, I am Mia Rabin.
Village Greens North Park is located at 9501 East Union Avenue across from Cherry Creek High School. The park can also be accessed by a loop trail system with connection to the Cherry Creek Regional Trail System and Cherry Creek State Park.
Voters in November 2012 passed Amendment 64 that allows people 21 years of age or older to legally consume or possess 1 ounce or less of marijuana. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter, Aiden Miller, has more on how the new state law will affect Greenwood Village.
Village stance toward marijuana remains the same. Village officials do not want this drug in their city. This year, the City Council passed laws prohibiting retail marijuana sales, limiting use on public-owned land, and regulating the area and manner which marijuana can be grown indoors. For Greenwood Village, their marijuana policy is all about protecting the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Greenwood Village.
The authority that Amendment 64 gives to municipalities and other public jurisdictions like public universities is the ability to ban the sale of marijuana within their jurisdictions. And City Council did just that when they passed an ordinance saying they didn't want retail marijuana stores in their city, just like they'd passed an ordinance saying they didn't want any retail medical marijuana sales in their city either. The overall outcome for the city in regard to Amendment 64 is that the City Council is preserving the health, safety, and welfare of its residents by banning the retail sale of marijuana in its city, just like it banned the retail sale of medical marijuana a couple years ago. The language in Amendment 64 lets cities decide where marijuana can and can't be possessed, even not smoked, but even possessed. And the city decided that in any public buildings or public parks and trails that you can't even possess marijuana. You can't smoke it openly and publicly either, and that would be any place that you can be seen by the general public. And those would include, of course, parks and libraries and any kind of public building. Likewise, private property owners can also decide that they don't want you to have marijuana on their property. The city has also prohibited marijuana clubs. Now that would, in commercial areas, that would be a commercial property owner like in a strip mall next door to Safeway. If someone wanted to have a private club where people had to pay admission and enter just for the purpose of smoking marijuana, they can't do that in Greenwood Village in a commercial area. They can gather in someone's home if they would like to do that because we don't regulate what people do inside their homes.
An important provision of Amendment 64 allow for the indoor cultivation of marijuana for personal use. This means that people can grow marijuana indoors. This caused some alarm for the City Council because of the nature of the growing, processing, and the potential safety hazards associated with growing in village neighborhoods.
Amendment 64 allows people to grow marijuana in their homes. However, the City Council is really concerned about this because it can be very, very dangerous. You need lots of lights to grow marijuana. It's like growing a fruit tree inside your house. You have to emulate the outside conditions. So you have to have circulated air, which means you have to have fans, which requires electricity. You have to have light that's as strong as the sun in order to get things to grow. And these lights can be very, very hot, and at times there have been lots of fires associated with these. And you also have to have lots of water, which can create mold conditions. So what the City Council decided was to restrict the area that marijuana could be grown within someone's home. They can still grow as many plants as they want, but they only have 32 square feet to work with. And the lights they use have to be LED lights. They're much safer because they don't get nearly as hot, so the chance of fire is greatly reduced.
Although Colorado state law now allows the possession and use of marijuana and procedures have been established to process a new law, still remains a crime under federal law. It will be interesting in the months ahead to see how our federal government will respond to our state and provide guidance on this new state law. Reporting for GV Kids Inc. News, I'm Aiden Miller. Back to you, Aaron, in the studio.
Thanks, Aiden, for that important report. For more information on village laws regarding use, possession, and indoor growing of marijuana in Greenwood Village, please call the City Attorney's Office at 303-486-5742 or visit greenwoodvillage.com and click on Municipal Code to obtain copies of the law.
It was the first event of the year at the Village Center, and it turned out to be a great success. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter Catherine Miller was there on a beautiful Sunday morning to join the fight for an important cause.
We want to do this on a day when we say, you know what, we'll remember those who've done it, but we don't have any more deaths from this disease. That is the goal.
The journey to end breast cancer starts with a single step. Today, hundreds of people decided to take that step and join the American Cancer Society for its 2013 Making Strides Against Breast Cancer 5K walk.
Well, we're here today for the American Cancer Society Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk. We're here to celebrate all the survivors that have battled this horrific disease and made it through, and also to remember those that we've lost to breast cancer. And it's a 5K walk. Everyone's having a great time, beautiful weather, so we're excited to be down here in Greenwood Village today.
Breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States. The chance of a woman having breast cancer sometime during her life is 1 in 8. The chance of dying from breast cancer is about 1 in 36. Breast cancer death rates have been going down because of earlier detection and better treatment. Right now, there are more than 2.5 million breast cancer survivors in the United States.
Well, currently 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, and with events like this and help from the American Cancer Society, we're definitely working to reduce that number. We're hoping to raise over $100,000 today in the fight against breast cancer. All of that money will be donated to the American Cancer Society for programs and services that help breast cancer patients and their families.
You know, I think it's so important to be here to support the American Cancer Society. And I am a survivor, and I know the work that the American Cancer Society does, and there's no way I could not be here and support what they do.
I'm here with Carol. So how did you like the event?
It was great. The weather was perfect. We had breeze and a little bit of clouds at the beginning, but it was wonderful. And the route was easy to walk. Lots and lots of people, lots and lots of support.
If you didn't get a chance to participate in this year's walk, you can still help by calling the American Cancer Society or by visiting their website listed on the screen. Just a few hours of your time will help contribute to progress for the people and families facing breast cancer today and in the future. I am Catherine Miller. Back to you in the studio.
What a great event in Greenwood Village to honor breast cancer survivors, remember those we have lost to the disease, and raise funds and awareness to help end it forever. Thanks, Catherine, for that special report.
Yes, what a powerful and inspiring way to unite as a community. Greenwood Village announced they are pleased with the results of their recent citizen survey. However, village officials say their work to improve the community is not done. Our own Syra Kern sat down with a member of village staff to learn about the citizen survey results and what the village is doing to retain its customer loyalty and enhance the quality of life of the community.
A citizen survey is conducted every 2 years to assess citizen satisfaction with a wide variety of specific outcomes provided by the village and identify where improvements are needed. The citizen survey was mailed to all households of the village, of which 1,657 surveys were completed and returned, representing an overall response rate of 27.7%.
The village evaluated several areas in the 2012 citizen survey. We looked at quality of life, safety, aesthetics and beauty, the quality of our parks, trails, and open space areas, mobility and ease of travel, village relationships, trash services, and customer service.
How did residents rate quality of life?
98% of our residents rated the quality of life as either excellent or good in Greenwood Village, which we're very proud of. 95% of the residents in Greenwood Village feel safe here. Aesthetics and beauty, 97% of residents in Greenwood Village either said the aesthetics and beauty of the city, which would be our landscapes, medians, things like that, are either excellent or good.
How about parks, trails, and recreation?
Yes, Sarah, 95% of the residents in Greenwood Village rated parks, trails, and recreation activities as either excellent or good. We're very happy about that as well, too, that our residents do get to enjoy our parks, trails, and activities that we offer.
How did residents rate mobility and ease of travel?
Yes, 94% of our residents gave high ratings to mobility and ease of travel in Greenwood Village. 83% of our residents said they have a high degree of trust in the village government, which is very good. That means that we're working with our citizens and that we listen to them and we try our best to make sure we have a good relationship with them. 73% of the people in Greenwood Village said trash services were excellent, and another 21% said that they were good. So overall, 94% of the people in Greenwood Village are happy with the trash services we give them. And the last one, customer services, 93% of the residents in Greenwood Village rated this very highly as well.
Okay, what will the village do with these results?
What the village does with the results of our citizen surveys is we take this information, we look at it, and we look for ways that we can improve and serve our citizens even better. In terms of the results for mobility and ease of travel, for instance, which talks about traffic and so on, we took the information that we got from that citizens provided to us, and where they mentioned like specific intersections in the city, you know, where they felt maybe the light was too long or they were in traffic for too long. And we took those results and we worked with staff in our Public Works Department and we did an analysis of traffic in Greenwood Village and broke that out and presented it to council, and it's out there for our citizens too as to what we're doing in those places to make traffic and ease of travel even better.
The next citizen survey will be conducted in 2015, so residents will get a chance to voice their opinions about living in Greenwood Village. I am Syra Kern, reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
For more information on the 2012 Citizen Survey, please call the City Manager's Office at 303-486-5745. To view a complete copy of the report, please visit www.greenwoodvillage.com.
This past June, the village completed some improvements to the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve located along the Highline Canal, just south of Bellevue Avenue. Our GV Kids Inc. news reporter, Nicole Chen, has more on this open space gem.
The Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve is a hidden treasure tucked away in the heart of rural Greenwood Village. This precious parcel of land has undergone some modifications to make the experience even more enjoyable for users, beginning with the construction of a new trail. I'm here with Eric Enzi of the city. Please explain to us about the trail's modifications.
The first phase of the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve, Phase 1 improvements, was reconstructing the trails here in the park. There were approximately 2,700 linear feet of trails that were rebuilt to provide safe access for people and users of the park. What's interesting and what's neat about these trails is it allows you the opportunity to explore the natural beauty of the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve, see the wildlife, see the plants, see the water.
One of the best places to visit here at the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve is the ponds that attract a variety of wildlife. A new water viewing area is available for you to enjoy these amazing natural surroundings.
Well, another phase of the project was the water viewing area, which you see here. It's intended to provide users with an opportunity to view the wildlife here in the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve. So you can view the ducks and the birds and all sorts of other things. It was intended to be designed out of natural elements such as rocks and stones, as well as a fallen cottonwood tree to kind of make it feel like it was actually here originally.
There is some proud history of this land, including the story of Marjorie Perry. The final improvements included the addition of some educational and informational signage to help you learn about the wildlife, vegetation, and history of this area.
One of the other elements of the Marjorie Perry Phase 1 improvements was some educational and informational signage. This signage was designed to blend in with the natural environment by using materials such as rocks, logs, and other natural features that you would find out in nature. What we see here is an attempt to tell different stories about Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve, what you might find here, the story of Marjorie Perry herself, and other interesting information about the nature preserve.
Come explore, relax, and enjoy all of the natural beauty of the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve and experience an escape from the hustle and bustle of daily life. I am Nicole Chen reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
The total cost for all these improvements to the Marjorie Perry Nature Preserve was $220,000. The project was funded in a large part through the grant the village received from the Arapahoe County Open Spaces.
This past summer, a group of youth had the chance to spend an entire week with the police officers of the Greenwood Village Police Department. It was the type of visit kids want to have with the police. Our Emily Bauer has more.
Each year, the police department hosts its annual Summer Youth Academy. It's a great way for police officers and youth to interact with each other and have some fun. I'm here with Sergeant Mark Statterman. What was the purpose of the Youth Academy?
Emily, the purpose of the Youth Academy is to build a relationship with the young people in the community, give them an understanding of some of the things we do here at the police department in the village, explain the criminal justice system, and let them experience some of the things that police officers do on a daily basis.
What were the types of things that they learned during the camp?
We've learned things about how the criminal justice system works, how we determine probable cause, reasonable suspicion, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Some of the things that we do, we've toured the jail, we're going to tour the fire department, have some explanations of how the K-9 unit operates, the emergency response team, traffic stops, decision-making with use of force, things of that nature.
Traffic and DUI enforcement is an important issue that the police officers deal with every day. During the Youth Academy, students got to drive under the influence, and for some, it was scary. I'm here with Officer Ryan O'Connor. Why are you teaching this class today?
Well, today this portion of the Youth Academy is going to be about impaired driving, whether it's alcohol or drugs. So we're using the golf carts to simulate their cars, and then we've got these goggles that they wear that demonstrate to them what it's like to be impaired, whether it's alcohol or drugs. And they'll go through the course and they'll compare when they had the goggles on versus when they didn't have them on to show, hopefully, the difference in driving if you were intoxicated.
What was it like from driving without the goggles with driving with the goggles?
Driving without the goggles was actually really easy, but once you put the goggles on, the more you moved, the more it got worse because everything was moving a lot when you moved a little.
Why is this exercise important?
When you get old enough to drink and drive, that you don't want to drink and drive because it'll cause accidents and possibly injure or hurt people.
Another highlight of the Youth Academy was the K-9 class. These youth participants realized that they may look like ordinary dogs, but police canines can be a police department's most effective tool in keeping a community safe.
We taught the kids what we use the dogs for suspect apprehension. The varying degrees are specialties of the dogs. In our case, the dogs are trained for narcotics. We train them for apprehending people, for building searches, for crowd control. We taught them how we train the dogs, what the dogs are capable of, and just the many facets we can use the dogs.
What did you like about the K-9?
It was an opportunity to learn about a part of the police department that I wouldn't otherwise learn about, and it was kind of exciting to see dogs at work.
Overall, the Greenwood Village Youth Police Academy facilitated a positive experience for both officers and Youth Academy participants that will enable teens to communicate and connect with the law enforcement officers in a positive way. What have you learned so far from the academy?
I learned about K-9 units. I learned about the jails, and I also learned about SWAT teams. I looked at police officers as the job would be simpler and easier, but I figured out that it's actually harder than I thought.
This is Emily Bauer from GV Kids Inc. And remember, don't drive drunk. Back to you in the studio.
What a great program. To learn more about the Police Youth Academy, please call the police department at 303-773-2525 or watch for more information in the Greenwood Village newsletter.
Yeah, what a great program. I'm going to try it next year. The youth program sounds like a lot of fun. If you live in Greenwood Village, you may have come across a goose or two on the road and have waited patiently for them to cross. Although they may seem like laid-back creatures, they are causing some distress for the village and some homeowners. Our own Daily Solomon has more on how the goose got loose.
Greenwood Village has been working on mitigating the impacts of Canada geese on public property and in all village parks and trails. It's not their presence that is the issue in hand, but what they're leaving behind that is causing some problems.
Well, the geese become a problem because, number one, they're messy. Number two, their droppings sometimes will, in large numbers, will over-fertilize an area. Their droppings in a pond will actually put too much nutrients in the pond, getting the algae to grow, which could possibly end up being fish kill. So they're just kind of a nuisance with their droppings more than they are anything else. Their feathers and everything else just kind of make it a nuisance for people to have to walk through and play in. And there could be some diseases in their droppings that you don't want kids playing in. Well, resident geese are a nuisance because they'll stay. They'll breed here, they'll put their nests here, they'll have their chicks here. They will stay around literally throughout the year. They'll move a little bit within the area, but they like to come back to where they've got their nesting areas. They also, once the season gets going, they will attract the migratory birds. Migratory birds that are on their way south for the winter will look and see that there's quite a few geese down here. They'll stop in for a while. Some of them may want to stay, and then they become resident geese. But it also increases the population during the migration period, where you'll get a lot more geese congregated in one area, and they'll stick around for a lot longer.
Canada geese are protected species under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, so the village says nuisance abatement procedures must be adhered to when dealing with them.
Canada geese, which is more commonly referred to as Canadian geese, but the technical term is Canada geese, they're protected under the Migratory Bird Act. And basically what that says is that you can't do anything to those geese as far as killing them unless you've got a hunting license and so on and so forth. You can't harass them, you can't haze them, you really can't do anything with them. There are certain things that you can do with them according to the Act in regards to hazing them, but you got to follow strict guidelines. You can't do it between certain months, between like April and September, which is their nesting period. You can't disturb their nests. Really, the City of Greenwood Village also has an ordinance against harassing wildlife. Canada geese are protected wildlife according to the Greenwood Village City Ordinance. So there's a little bit that we can do because in protection of public property, we can try and haze them, get them to move on. The problem with that is it's got to be a consistent program. You have to do things on a consistent basis for 2 or 3 weeks before they finally get tired of staying in one area. The other problem is you may just be moving the problem from one park to another park. Currently, there are certain things we are doing to try and keep them from overpopulating in different parks. We've used decoys, coyote decoys. We've used mylar tape that kind of blows in the wind. We've used a thing that's called flight control, which is a spray thing that the geese don't like because they'll eat the grass. So if you spray the flight control on the grass, it keeps the geese from eating it and congregating there. The only problem with that is it doesn't last for very long. The minute you get a little bit of snow or a little bit of moisture, it dilutes that and then the geese come back. So those are limited efforts that we've tried to use. We're looking at other things. We're looking at hazing them with remote controlled type things. But again, it's got to be a consistent, you got to do it for a couple of weeks to be able to try and get them to actually move on.
As a homeowner, if you're having any issues with geese on your property, there are some things you can do. Don't feed geese, remove any nesting materials, erect fences and barriers to keep geese off property, and harass the birds using noisemakers, dogs, or brooms. Remember, you cannot injure, capture, or kill geese, disturb geese on an established nest, or collect or destroy goose eggs as they are protected species. Reporting from Greenwood Village City Hall, I'm Daly Solomon. Back to you, Charlie, in the studio.
For more information on geese mitigation, visit the Colorado Department of Wildlife website or call 303-297-1192.
Some great things are in the works for the Village Center area in Greenwood Village. The village announced earlier this year that they were selected for the first 5-star hotel in the South Denver area. GV Kidsing News reporter Annie McCall is on location to tell us more about this exciting news.
This area east of I-25 near the Arapahoe Village Center will be home of the future Weston Hotel. This luxury hotel chain will be catalyst for continued development of the Village Center and is expected to provide high-quality services to residents and the large corporate presence here in Greenwood Village and the region.
Well, this is the site of a 200-room hotel. It will have about 10,000 square feet of ballroom space and also meeting rooms. There'll be an indoor pool and also a really nice outdoor patio. The Village Center here in Greenwood Village really is at the heart of the Southeast Corridor. And they looked around and found that there were a lot of aging older hotels in the Southeast Corridor, and this really represents a prime spot for future hotel development. Well, the hotel will really reestablish or affirm that the Village Center here in Greenwood Village is a prominent focal point for both business and residents in Greenwood Village. People will find that this is really a premier an accommodation for visitors that come to Greenwood Village, and also for the business community that now has to go downtown in order to find a five-star hotel.
The land where the Weston Hotel will be located includes this parking area that serves users of light rail, which is owned by the village. Through an agreement, the village will sell 3.54 acres of this property for the construction of the hotel, but only under some important stipulations.
There are two parts to the sales agreement, one that benefits the city and one that benefits the hotel developer. From the hotel developer's point of view, they don't have to go through with the sale of the property unless the plans for the hotel are approved by the city. From the city's point of view, this guarantees the city that it will get the quality and character of a hotel that we really seek here, and the Weston brand should really provide that to the city.
Village staff is currently working with the developer on their formal application for the project. Residents and the general public will be able to attend neighborhood input meetings and public hearings on the project in the future once they are announced. Every development project in Greenwood Village is guided by community values for high quality, so there is a review and approval process that a developer must go through to assure the project will be a showcase of the community. Village officials hope to have a formal application submitted by the developer by the first quarter of 2014.
Thanks, Andy, for that update. For more information about the proposed Weston Hotel project, please call the Community Development Department at 303-486-5773.
This past June, Silo Park was the place to be. Our very own Molly Widoff was there to capture all the highlights of an event that caused a lot of mania, garden style.
Every year, the Silo Park Demonstration and Vegetable Garden is a popular place for gardeners of all ages to share ideas and have a fun gardening experience. After all, a community that grows food together grows closer together. What's the purpose of Garden Mania?
Garden Mania is an event to invite the public to come see what we're doing here in the Silo Park Garden, showcase what we've done and educate about what we're doing gardening-wise.
Hi, I'm here with Judy Coons, and why does CSU participate with Greenwood Village?
Well, the main mission of CSU in the community is education in the area of horticulture and agriculture, but particularly horticulture for this garden. And our mission as Master Gardeners is to educate the people of Greenwood Village on vegetables, how to grow them. If they have any questions about their own home gardens, they can ask us, and we can tell them what varieties do best and how to grow them. And we can also address issues with insects and diseases. So that's what we do, and the residents stop and ask us questions, and we explain about the garden to them.
Hi, I'm here with Jim Balaj, and what kind of activities do you have planned today for adults and children?
Molly, we have 6 activities today. One is planting their own seed. I believe it's a bean seed, and they get to take that home with them. We have a station called Yucky Worms, and that's a little bit about composting and decomposers. We have a station that allows kids to reach into a box and feel a vegetable, and then they get to go out to the garden and try and guess which one it was. Then there are two identification tables. One of those is trying to identify roots, stems, and leaves, and the other one is trying to identify some seeds. And the final one is going to be, it's about soils, and we have 3 different soil types, and they get to that's a messy one, they get to mix things up and just see what the difference is when they're wet and dry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Molly.
Eating fresh picked corn or vine-ripped tomatoes from your backyard can be a rewarding experience. But where do you start? The Master Gardeners shared some great tips with me and some village gardeners. Hi, I'm here with Anne-Marie Kotzer, and what are the secrets to a perfect garden?
Well, I'm not sure there's any such thing as a perfect garden, but some of the keys are to have really the right plant for the right spot. If you have sun plants, they need to go in the sun. If you have shade plants, they need to go in the shade. And the secret to a successful garden is the soil. About 80% of all your garden problems are related to the soil. So good soil produces good crops.
As we learned here today, gardening knowledge comes with experience and from the generous sharing of fellow gardeners. I wanted to mention the food produced by the Silo Park Garden is donated to a local food bank every year. It is one way the village gives back to the community. I am Molly Woodoff reporting for GV Kids Inc. News.
Growing vegetables at the Silo Park Garden to feed others is a great service Greenwood Village does for the community. That's awesome. Thanks, Molly, for that fun report. We'll be right back.
You have a family history of diabetes. Know what it means to your health. You've just turned 50. Know what screenings you'll need to add to your annual physical. Your new parents. Know what vaccinations are recommended for your children as they grow.
Through life, you need to know what will keep you and your family healthy. Get involved, know the facts.
Because knowledge is the new doctor-recommended apple of the day.
Visit coloradoafp.org for your free Know card and begin your family health story. It's knowledge for all ages.
If you break the law, you will have to pay the price. Our own Jackson Geraci sat down with Greenwood Village presiding Municipal Court Judge Schifrin to learn about the role the Municipal Court plays in the village and her work at handling the gavel.
The Greenwood Village Municipal Court is the judicial branch of the city government. Every week, citizens visit the municipal court to have their cases heard in this courtroom.
Well, what we do is we take all of the offenses that the police department charges and we resolve them in a very quick and fair way. So the municipal court is not just me. There's a lot of people that work in the municipal court. We have our court clerks. And what they do is they take the tickets from the police department, they enter them all in, and then they set dates and they manage the whole docket. I'm just a small part of that. There's a lot of people that work here.
What types of cases and offenses are handled?
We do misdemeanor cases here and traffic cases here. And any cases where there is an ordinance, meaning our city council here, they enact all of our laws. And so whatever cases or whatever offenses they believe they want to make sure that they have a thumb on and that they're controlling, they're going to enact an ordinance so that I can listen to those cases. I would say we probably deal with maybe about 50% traffic cases, but outside of traffic cases, the most common criminal type offense that we deal with, there's two of them that I would say are pretty equal. We have theft cases or shoplifting cases, and we also have minor and possession cases for alcohol. So of course anyone under the age of 21 who is drinking and shouldn't be. And the theft cases, we have a lot of cases of kids going over to King Soopers at lunchtime on Cherry Creek, shoplifting, eating in the deli there and then running out without paying, and even stealing from other kids, stealing from their teachers, going in purses, stealing iPods, stealing money, those types of things. But not just kids, but a lot of adults too.
Do you have jury trials for what offenses?
We do have jury trials here in the city. We have jury trials for any offense that has been criminalized by the Greenwood Village City Council, including some traffic offenses such as reckless driving. Reckless driving is an 8-point ticket and you can get 6 months in jail for that. So those folks can request a jury trial.
What types of cases are not heard?
We don't hear felony cases here in the municipal court. And we also don't hear cases where the City Council has not enacted an ordinance. So for example, domestic violence cases. Some municipal courts do hear domestic violence cases, and some municipal courts do hear DUI cases. But here in this city, our council has not enacted any type of an ordinance against those. And so those cases, if they happen in the city, the police officers will write that into the county court here in Arapahoe County.
Court sessions may occur every Wednesday, but the court docket is always different with a variety of cases and defendants. Whatever the case may be, Judge Schifrin's role is to proceed over the court and see that order is maintained. What is your role as a judge?
My role is to treat people fairly and make sure that they have an opportunity to be heard. It's very important that I at all times assure that I'm upholding the constitutional standards of assuming that everyone is innocent until they're proven guilty. And until they are proven guilty, I have to make sure that I'm treating them as if they are innocent.
What about your job as a judge do you like the most?
I really like helping the community. I think that it is fantastic when I can come in here and I can make a difference and make people see what they're doing before it has an opportunity to get worse. And I think in my job, I have a unique opportunity to do that with a lot of kids because of the things that I've seen just in my life and in my career. So I've been both a prosecutor and a defense attorney before I became a judge. And so when I see kids that are really hurting themselves and I can bring that to light, it is incredibly enjoyable. And I'll tell you that what is really enjoyable is when I get the fruits of my labor in a letter from somebody. I got a letter, I don't know, about 6 months ago probably, from a kid who was with me for about 3 years for the same offense, which is really unusual because my jurisdiction here is only a year, unless they have to keep coming back to me because they're not doing what they're told to do, and then my jurisdiction will just keep running. So this one kid, I had him, and I put him on probation very early on, and he violated his probation, and he kept taking drugs, and he kept popping positive on all his drug tests. And so I would give him a really harsh sentence to get his attention, and then he would get better, and I would praise him and cheer him, and then he'd fall again, and then I'd have to give him another harsh sentence, and then he would get better, and I'd praise him and release my restrictions on him a little bit, and then he would fall again, and then I'd have to come back, and that went on for about 3 years until finally he successfully completed his probation. And at the end of that, I wasn't expecting to hear from the kid again, and he sent me a letter, and the letter was the sweetest thing, telling me that I had been a great role model for him and that he was where he was because of me. I had helped him graduate high school, and he had gotten a job at a car wash, and he was the manager, and he told me that I was a fantastic role model, even though I was a woman.
What do you dislike?
I don't like it when I can't reach kids, when I can't make them understand what they're doing is going to hurt them, and not just short-term, long-term.
If you ever receive a summons to appear in Greenwood Village Municipal Court, don't sweat it. The court wants to make sure your experience is a positive one. If you have any questions about your day in court, you can call 303-773-6033. In the meantime, be aware of all the laws in Greenwood Village. After all, it's not worth breaking the law. Reporting from Greenwood Village Kids Inc. News, I am Jackson Geraci.
Thanks, Jackson, for that report. Judge Schifrin seems really nice.
Yes, but I would rather follow the law than end up in a courtroom.
I agree.
This past June, one of the village parks became home to another art sculpture. Let's go to GV Kids Inc. news reporter Sarah Hiblin to see why this park has become the ideal location for art.
The installation of the Nest sculpture is part of the village's vision to display works of art to enhance the appearance of the community. To achieve this, the village adopted a public art program to serve as a guide to manage art installations. I'm here with Tim Vaca, and he's with the MOA. Tim, what is the Nest and what does it stand for?
Hi, Sarah. The Nest is a sculpture by local artist Eric Johnson. He was inspired by nests that are found in nature, and he built the sculpture to simulate community and neighborhoods.
Why is Weston's Park an ideal location for the Nest and art pieces like the Nest?
Sure, Sarah. Well, we were really drawn to the beauty of the landscape here at the park, and we have some other sculptures in the park as well. And we just felt that this was a great location for the Nest.
What other pieces of MOA are here at the park?
Well, we have two other sculptures here. We have a series of 5 bronze dolphins, which are in the upper pond up here. And those were actually installed in 1989 and recently refurbished and reinstalled last year. We also have a Disco Emergente by Arnaldo Pomodoro, which is right in front of the Greenwood Athletic Club.
Why is the MOA's relationship with the village valuable?
Well, we were founded in the village over 30 years ago, and we've been installing sculptures ever since. And it's really been a nice partnership and been able to share our collection with the citizens of Greenwood Village.
The Nest installation is just the start of more art sculptures to be installed at village parks and facilities in the future. Village officials say they would like to retain additional art pieces, but funding will always be a challenge. I'm here with Joe Cole and Jim Seidinger. Why is it important to the village to have art pieces?
Well, the park is a thing of beauty, and art is a thing of beauty. So to put the two together adds another element to this park. And I think we value art and we value the park. So I think they work together. It's a win-win situation. We are neighbors, and the MOA has a vibrant and diverse collection of art, and we're very happy to show it here because I understand they move their art around. I've seen it downtown. It's great to have it here in the Greenwood Village Parks.
Thank you. What is the purpose of the public art policy?
Well, the purpose of the public art policy is to provide a structure for providing public art to the city of Greenwood Village. It's the overall plan which is provided by the City Council and gives us a structure and an idea of how we're to go about providing public art.
What are some goals and challenges to retain more art in the future?
Well, the goals are to provide art programs for the entire population of the city. And with regard to public art, we'd like to have it throughout the city so that all of the population can have access to it when they move around their daily lives. Art is life, and a community which is rich in art is one that's full and complete. As far as the challenges are concerned, part of it is budgetary. We want to make sure that we have the money to provide the programs necessary. And that's one of the reasons why we've partnered with the MOA, because they have provided sculptures like the Nest to us at a fairly minimal cost to the city of Greenwood, and that allows us to provide wonderful art like this at a reasonable price for the entire population.
And how can citizens help?
Well, they can help by supporting the programs. I am the chair of the Greenwood Village Arts Council. We have several programs like our annual Bark for Art, which is coming up on September 28th. We have the auction where we're going to be auctioning off some very good pieces of art. Donations that come into us help support the programs that we run, including the scholarship to students, and things like providing public art in these wonderful parks that we have here. And also, just in general, supporting efforts that the city makes with regard to looking for funding in general and partnerships like we have with the MOA.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
If you get a chance, stop by Weston's Park to view the beautiful art pieces here. Although the beauty of art will always be in the eye of the beholder, these art pieces have added a special touch to a park that has already captured the hearts and likings of so many. I'm Sarah Hiblin for GV Kids Inc. News.
The Nest sculpture will be on a loan through 2015 with the option to extend the loan to 2017. The MOA is responsible for funding the installation, insurance, and the annual maintenance at no cost to the village. It's a great deal for the village and for the community.
It is a popular leisure activity for most, but it can also be a major competition sport for kids. This past summer, GV Kids Inc. News caught up with a local swim team as they made their way to a final competition. And from what we found out, it was no easy task.
They may be neighbors, friends, and classmates, but are also proud members of the Preserve Piranha swim team right here in Greenwood Village. They are a team whose motto is to learn to swim, make friends, and compete.
The team we have is a great team. We started off 7 years ago, and we didn't have any year-round swimmers at all whatsoever, which are the most competitive. And the league basically drew people in and created an interest in them. And that's the thing I'm most interested in about, is the fact that this has drawn kids in and gotten them interested in something that maybe they never would have been interested in. We've had so many kids who have generated a love for this sport that never would have been involved with this had they not been involved in their neighborhood swim team. It may be 1 out of 10, it may be out of 1 out of 20, but we get some really spectacular swimmers that you have no idea that they had any skill in the sport before they get started. These kids have taken the passion to the point where we've gone from having nothing but outside coaches 7 years ago to the point where we now have over half our coaching staff are kids that have grown up through the system and have become old enough to legally work and are now being paid, albeit small amounts, being paid something to help coach the team and run the team, and have become really great role models for the little kids. Swimming is maybe the only sport I'm aware of where you have kids from age 3 to 4 all the way up to 18 swimming together at the same time during the entire meet. And it's a great sort of family type of thing because you have so many kids of so many different ages interacting and being great role models for the rest of the team.
Lots of time and dedication goes into the swim team by each swimmer and coach. The final meet is the accumulation of 8 weeks of a lot of hard work and dedication. Many of these swimmers do it for fun, while some have aspirations to swim like Olympic medalists Michael Phelps and Missy Franklin.
I joined the swim team when I was, before we were the Preserve Piranhas. We were another team called the Blue Herons, I believe. So I just been swimming for them for a while in the Preserve since it's been a team. I started when I was real young, and I've just now I'm in the older age group, which is really, it's good for me and for the little kids to see how far they can go, and by swimming throughout their entire time, and now I'm a coach. So that's been important for me to help and give back to the team.
I didn't really want to do meets, I just wanted to swim because lessons were getting too expensive, so I joined the team, and then Sean, my coach, told me to do one race, and then I was just kind of hooked from that point on. Well, I just love working with the little kids, and just watching them fall in love with the sport like I did when I was little is amazing.
When I was 4 years old, my dad, he started the team in our neighborhood when we first moved in, and then I just continue to swim every year for the team. Well, today I did 2 relays with some other girls, and I also did my 50-400 backstroke, and I did really well in those 2 events.
I joined the team to be with the little kids, just to coach the little kids. I was on a club team before this, and I came here to just really be with the little kids and learn how to coach better. Seeing the little kids after their race and having them have a really good race and just coming up to you and I got first place, all excited, and just seeing that excitement on their face.
The point of Summer League is really just to make sure that the kiddos have fun. It's about competition, which in a lot of people's minds, equates to fun when kids win and get better. It's about having a good time with their friends and, learning something in the process, learning something about swimming and learning something, about morals and hard work, dedication, and teamwork.
There's 2 big teams, Sundance Hills and Cherry Creek Vista, which allow for completely open enrollment on their team. And if you're in Greenwood Village and you don't have a neighborhood swim team, you can go swim for those teams. If you happen to live near the Preserve or Green Oaks, which are more on the westerly side, and you know a family, most of those teams will allow you to join the team as a result of being sponsored.
Splashing, wading, and paddling must mean a great day in the water for many of these kids. Playing in the water can be fun, but competing in a swim league can be a rewarding experience that produces a wide array of health and social benefits for kids of all ages. It's one of those sports that you just have to jump into and see where the water takes you. Diving in for GV Kids Inc., I am Maddie Weiner. Back to you, Aaron, in the studio.
If you would like more information about a swim team in your neighborhood, visit the website of the Rocky Mountain Swim League. The league consists of 19 teams of the South Denver area, which includes over 1,000 kids who compete every year.
These days, something meant to be private can easily end up for the public to see, and with an outcome often with dire consequences. Our senior GV Kids Inc. news reporter Grace Stahl has more on this alarming trend of teen behavior that has become a serious crime.
It may seem like fun and harmless to some, but sending inappropriate photos of you online or over text to your friends and acquaintances is a crime in Colorado. Over the years, more and more teens are realizing just how sexting, in a matter of seconds, can change their life forever, with some unintended consequences.
Sexting is anytime a person takes a picture of themselves naked, genitals and breasts, and sends it to another person over their cell phone or over email or any other electronic device. Sexting is a problem because anybody under the age of 18 under Colorado law is not allowed or doesn't have the ability to make the decision to take a picture of themselves naked and send it to another person. So it's a problem for the person that takes the picture, that possesses the picture, or sees the picture. Sexting is a serious crime for both persons that are taking the picture and sending the picture or possessing the picture, because under Colorado law, that's sexual exploitation of a child, and those result in felony crimes, and you also have to register as a sex offender. So basically, regardless of the person it's sent between 2 teenagers, doesn't matter if it's a person that took the picture, if they give their permission. Under Colorado law, they're not allowed to give their permission, so it's always going to be sexual exploitation of the child, and those are going to be felony charges, and you're going to have to report as a sex offender. So it has huge consequences, both criminally and socially, as far as getting into colleges and different things like that for the child.
A joint study by the National Campaign to Prevent Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy and Cosmo Girl suggests that 20% of teens have shared inappropriate pictures of themselves, either via text or by posting online. Teen girls are slightly more likely to do this than boys, and 11% of young teen girls admitted to sending suggestive photos of themselves. So what can parents do to prevent their teenagers from sending that one text that can have a lasting impact on their teenager's life? Our police department says the key is to keep a dialogue open with your kids.
Tips that we have for parents is, number one, understand and know that this is out there, and it reaches all the way down to 6th grade, so you're never too early or too young to start talking about this with your child. They're going to, females are going to be pressured, males are going to be pressured into sending pictures, or have they gotten the latest picture, or did they see this picture, and they're going to be around it. So talking to them about the consequences, talking to them about the social aspects, the embarrassment, all those different things is a huge factor. Also, we recommend knowing what your child is doing. We recommend not letting them take the cell phone into a bathroom. There's no reason for a cell phone to be in the bathroom, whether it's at their house or not. We also recommend having a curfew for the cell phone, whether it's they put it on a charger and put it in a public area of the house, or whatever it may be, having a curfew on the cell phone. Because a lot of these pictures are taken when they're home alone, when they go to the bathroom alone, or at night when parents are around monitoring what's going on. So just taking those steps as far as talking, understanding that it's out there, knowing who they're talking to, and having some type of curfew or limits with the cell phone, and email, all those things. We've seen this type of picture being distributed on emails, over Facebook, over all those different types of communication. So knowing what your child is a part of, or what if they use Facebook, there's a bunch of different acts from Kik to Snapchat to just text messaging. There's a lot of different ways that they can do it. So understanding what they have on their phone and what they're using is a big part of it as well.
It is important for teens and parents to realize the consequences of sexting. The bottom line is that it increases visibility and accessibility, and can include embarrassment and harm to your reputation. But most importantly, you could face criminal charges. Reporting from GV Kids Inc. News, I am Grace Stahl.
Thanks, Grace, for that important safety report. For more information on this safety issue, please call the police department at 303-773-2525.
This past March, City Council approved the formation of a local improvement district to underground electric and telephone lines in the rural area of Greenwood Village. GV Kids Inc. News reporter McKenna Nading is there to show us the benefits of this project.
One of the reasons why people live and work in Greenwood Village is because of the majestic views you can see anywhere in the village. Undergrounding work to bury utilities in a rural area of Greenwood Village is underway that will soon enhance the views of this neighborhood.
The undergrounding project is located west of the Preserve subdivision, just north of Orchard Road. It's bound on the north side by Garden Avenue, and the south by Platt, the west by the Highline Canal, and on the east side by Colorado Boulevard. We are currently in the final phases of design, and we hope to have the project completed by late fall of 2013.
The burial of power lines occurs in Greenwood Village through the village's utility undergrounding program, or the creation of local improvement districts. This undergrounding project was the result of 12 property owners in this neighborhood who petitioned the village to form a local improvement district. It was a great way to fund the improvements for all the property owners benefiting from the project.
A local improvement district is a financing mechanism for homeowners to complete a public improvement project. Basically, the city funds the public improvement up front, and the homeowners pay back the cost of the project through a special assessment on their property taxes. This is typically paid back in a period of 8 to 10 years. The first step of the process is to file a petition with the City of Greenwood Village. Then it goes through a public hearing process, and if it's ruled favorably by City Council, the district will be formed through an ordinance. The estimated cost for the project is approximately $345,000. Well, the Village Undergrounding Program is a joint effort with Xcel Energy, where Xcel Energy provides the funding, known as the 1% fund, for undergrounding of the overhead power lines. The 1% fund, that money is 1% of the preceding year's gross electric revenue, and it's set aside for undergrounding of power lines. The village rates each individual section of overhead line based on 3 factors: potential cost savings, which would be partnering with an HOA or another municipality or something along those lines, safety, and then the number of homes served. Each project has a cumulative score based on those factors, and the highest ranking projects are put on what's known as the 5-year plan. Those projects will be scheduled over the course of the next 5 years, and if possible will coincide with a capital improvement project or some sort of new development. The goals of the program are to enhance the majestic views that we have in the village, improve safety, and ultimately improve or increase property values.
To date, the village has undergrounded more than 10 miles of utility lines at the cost of $6 million, but much more work remains to underground the entire city. Village officials say there are still 20 more miles to be done, which will take nearly 45 years to complete. It's a long and costly effort, but undergrounding utilities contribute to the unprecedented views and increased property values of all the village neighborhoods. I am McKenna Nading. Back to you, Aaron, in the studio.
Although it will take years to complete, the Village Utility Undergrounding Program will enhance the quality of life for residents and for future generations. If you are interested in learning more about the Village Utility Undergrounding Program and current projects already scheduled, please call Public Works at 303-708-6100.
We all have to share the road with them, and some of us may be a little nervous when they pass us. Our GV Kids News Inc. reporter Tessa Gervasini watched the Village Police Department in action as they crack down on traffic on I-25.
The roads are safer thanks to the work of the Greenwood Village Police Department to enhance the safety of the community. Their proactive approach is the result of many commercial trucks being removed from village roadways due to some serious road violations.
The purpose of the enforcement days are to help reduce the number of accidents with our truck driving public out here. As you can look over my shoulder here, you can see quite a few big rigs going down the highway. When you're talking 80,000 pounds or less, for anywhere from 50,000 to 80,000 pounds, that's a lot of weight, and with that weight comes problems. Safety violations, sometimes speeding, and then trying to enforce the commercial carrier motor vehicle standards. And that is a lot to do with safety, not just overweight. So as you can, with the main interstate going down the roadway, we also have the arterial ways off on Bellevue, or Orchard, and Arapahoe Road, which are all heavily commerce. So we do have a lot of truck traffic and the need and the necessary to help regulate that throughout the city. We don't just necessarily pull over every truck that's out there. Again, we look at the ones that are in commerce throughout the city, throughout the state. A lot of your big rigs coming up and down the interstate here go through port of entry. We know that. They're regulated, well regulated. So we're focusing on a lot of the local traffic, a lot of local trucks, determine whether or not they're overweight, and it's obvious at times seeing some safety violations, lights out, a lot of things like that. So that gives us, one, a reason, not just pulling over any truck, but to look at certain safety violations and go, listen, we need to have you inspected, weighed, and look to make sure all your tax stamps, fuel stamps, and everything are in accordance with the state of Colorado. Once a vehicle is pulled over and it's deemed unsafe, or it has a violation where it's put what we call out of service. Out of service meaning that vehicle cannot be moved until that violation is fixed. So the process is the inspectors from the state or from Arapahoe County we work in conjunction with sometimes is a mutual effort, mutual aid. Then we notify the driver of the reason, they're ticketed, cited, and they're told that they're out of service. They know this as a truck driver, as a company. So then we go to the process of parking that vehicle in a safe area in conjunction with our business community and in an area where it can be stored temporarily till they can get that fixed, and then proven that it's fixed and get back on the road.
Police department's work during the past 3 enforcement periods has paid off. Out of nearly 90 commercial vehicles contacted, 32 safety inspections were performed, and 20 of those commercial vehicles were deemed unsafe and removed from the roadways.
We're talking brakes that are out of alignment, things that are broken, brake lines, drive shafts, a lot of things that that are deemed unsafe in a manner as such, where if we think that that vehicle goes down the road, it's our responsibility not to let that vehicle go down the road and get it fixed there before it does go down the road. So there are overweight violations too, which is a hazard to the roadway and the public, meaning that that truck is overweight. It's going to take it a lot longer to stop, and if it does hit something, it's usually not a good result.
The police department says that both 1 to 25 and village roadways will be monitored for violators, including special focus on areas where the police department receives chronic complaints. Reporting on location for your safety, I am Tessa Gervasini for GEV Kids Inc. News.
Thanks, Tessa. For more information about the police department's traffic enforcement efforts, please call 303-773-2525.
You can never be over-prepared for the most high-risk situations. That is why the police department's emergency response team gathered at Aspen Academy in the Village earlier this year to employ their special tactics to address what someday could be a real-life situation. GV Kids Inc. News was there to capture it all.
We may never think it could happen in our community, but the police department doesn't want to take any chances. This elite group of police officers undergo many hours of specialized training every month in order to be ready for horrible acts of crime. Today, their mock scenario involves an armed suspect in a school building.
Traffic 3 radio check.
Good. So whatever equipment you need to get it.
So there may be people inside, so we're not going to use dogs.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry.
What we did here today was a very realistic training scenario, focusing on an armed suspect who ran into a school. We don't know if she's the only occupant in the school, if there are teachers, other citizens, children in the school, and that kind of dictates our tactics as to how we would approach the situation.
Stubinger, Arthur, Mulqueen has the blue squad, Mulqueen, Gibson, Winder, Kruger, Chumley, Fisher's instant commander.
Basically, one will have to be long, one will have to be kind of this area until the green team takes up that area, and then we'll just have two on this staircase.
Staged to look and feel like a real situation, members of the emergency response team are called to respond to an armed suspect. With them, they bring their specialized tactics and arsenal of weaponry, armor, and surveillance devices. Strategically and carefully, they check out every area of the building and eventually secure the building until they can apprehend the suspect.
It's important because it maximizes the safety and security of Greenwood Village. This is a very realistic scenario that could happen in real life, and in order for us to best address that type of situation in real life is to train as realistically as we possibly can here.
Being a member of the police department's emergency response team requires on-the-spot decision-making, physical strength and endurance, self-motivation, and teamwork. Every move and decision made by each member can determine their own fate and the lives of the innocent.
Well, part of today's situation in this location is getting familiar with the location. So if something does happen in the future, we're already up to speed on the location and the landmarks that are here in this particular school. We take situations that are pretty dangerous situations. We come equipped with special equipment and some different tactics than the regular patrol officers have. And we're able to engage multiple suspects or suspects in a safer manner.
I got her. Keep walking.
Tony, you ready?
Keep walking.
Ready to come.
Keep walking.
I'm uncuffing. Hey, Tony, all right.
One of the things that make Greenwood Village a desirable community to live in is the special events the village hosts every year for its residents. GV Kids Inc. News followed the Yellow Brick Road to Emerald Village to see how the Wizard is taking over City Hall.
'Tis the season of joy and the village tradition to welcome you and our family to our holiday vision.
All gather at 6 o'clock for an evening delight. City Hall and the front yard will be lit so bright.
And the first producer is Denise Rose, for a council member from District 1. And then District 2, Leslie Schluter. and District 3 Betty Todd, and District 4 Tom Bishop, and TJ Gordon, and a special guest from the South Pole, actually on Front Street, the Commissioner Nancy Sharp, our former mayor. Now, Dorothy, do you really want to go back to Kansas?
I do. How do I do it? Can you tell me how to get back to Kansas?
I can. What we all are going to do is help Dorothy get back to Kansas. And we're going to say, click our heels 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And there, you're back in Kansas.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm here with the mayor. So, Mayor, why is tonight a special night for the community?
Well, it's a very special night because we have all the parents and kids in Greenwood Village that get to come to City Hall and enjoy themselves as the beginning of the holiday season.
I'm here with District 4 Council Member DJ Gordon. I just wanted to ask him what's important about tonight.
I think it's important that we bring the community together and start to celebrate the holiday season and get all the kids something fun to do and get everybody in the spirit for the holidays.
I'm here with Dave Packer. So Dave, why is tonight a special night for you?
It's a special night because it's a magical night here in Greenwood Village.
What's your favorite activity?
My favorite activity tonight is staying inside, given it's so cold out there.
I'm here with Becky and Dawn. So, what is your favorite activity tonight?
Probably going maybe to see Santa.
Hi, I'm here with Jack. So Jack, what was your favorite activity so far?
Doing the pictures.
Fun. Are you having fun so far?
My favorite activity is paint.
Hi, I'm here with Marty. So, that's quite a nice hat you have.
Thank you.
So, what's your favorite activity?
I like to play poker.
Do they have a poker here?
In the police station.
Oh, have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Kira and Lissa, and I just want to ask them, what are you going to perform tonight?
We're going to perform a lot of Christmas songs and also one called Shut the Dough and Dodie Lee.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a winter wonderland that I heard of once in a lullaby.
Lions and tigers and flying monkeys, oh my. Toto, I got a feeling we're not in Greenwood Village anymore. I'm here with Anna, Ann, and Bob. So you guys, are you having a fun time?
Yes, we're having a very fun time. Are you having fun, Anna? Say yes. I'm having fun.
We're having a great time.
We're here with Kathy, the manager of the Parks, Trails, and Recreation. So Kathy, explain the purpose of the Mayor's holiday lighting and details about the event.
The Mayor's holiday lighting is usually around the Christmas time in December, and what we do is we try to have a holiday party for the entire community to bring community spirit to the city of Greenwood Village.
What's your favorite activity tonight?
My favorite activity tonight would be Santa. We flew him especially for the residents of Greenwood from the North Pole.
Happy holidays and thank you.
Happy holidays to you as well. Thank you.
We've had a great time here at the Winter Wonderland of Oz, but it's now time to close our eyes and tap our heels together 3 times and think to ourselves, there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Wake up, silly, and we're home, and there's no place like Greenwood Village. Until we follow the yellow brick road home again, happy holidays to you and your family from all of us at the GV Kids Inc. News.
What a great event to end our GV Kids Inc. news program today. I'm Charlie Weezer.
And I'm Erin Casey. Thank you for watching GV Kids Inc. News.